Where did our comments go?
Where did
Comment,
our
comment,
comments go?
comment. Where did
Where
our
did our
comments go?
comments go?
Where did our
Where did our
comments go?
comments go? Will I wear another school? Like, no.
What? Except for Stephen A. Smith. Say it. Don't talk to me about Stephen A. Don't you say his name to me. Welcome back to Queens of the Yard, your favorite ultimate HBCU centric podcast for women who love culture, conversation, and community. I'm half of it. I'm your host, Sheena, and we got.
And I'm Skell.
What's up, week, girl? How was your week?
Busy, busy, busy.
Told you.
Like, and it's like literally trying to figure out, like, I'm just a girl. Like, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna have my hair for CIAA. What am I gonna wear? Like, I'm literally just a girl, and
Listen.
I'm just tired. It's just so exhausting.
I was stressed. I've started putting my fits together and I just have become almost overrun with ideas. Like I got invited to a party with Virginia State and I was like, ooh, okay, all right. My aunt went to Virginia State, so I was like, let me figure out how I can incorporate that. And then I know we're doing it big for Mr. CIAA this year. And I went thrifting. I never go thrifting. But my son loves thrifting. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna thrift me a cool outfit.
That's
And I
such a
went,
Gen Z thing.
it was, yeah, it is. Like, he don't wear no new clothes. And then he likes, like, the fun, like, graphic t-shirts. Like, he has this band mom shirt. He's like, my favorite musician I gave birth to on the back. Like, some of the funniest little shirts. Like, you loot, we shoot. Like, the craziest shirts from thrifting. But I've tried to, like I said, incorporate different things. And I found the cutest skirt, and I'm gonna have to alter it. I'm gonna have to bring out my home ec skills. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
bring out my home
God.
ec skills
I'm jealous.
to do so. I was kind of lucky. Like I was raised by my grandma, so sewing.
I'm so
Let's do it.
jealous.
Let's do it. So I know we talked about bubble skirts last week. I got the cutest. It's like red and white. I'm gonna let you see it. I can't wait till you see it. And just like it has been fun putting the fits together. And then it is strict around here. Okay, it is strict around here. So we started. I had on a school from another part of town here in the Piedmont Triad, and Scale was like, "Girl, what is you doing? Are you okay? Blink twice if you in
Are
danger."
you okay? Are you in a hostage situation? Are you gonna be holding up a sign?
Yeah, so
Like,
fashion, right? What is going on? Are you protesting? So I'm locked back in on my HBCU, specifically CIAA, always repping my SU, always repping my SU. But I had to
see
go
ya.
neutral because it got hot in here real quick. Okay, real quick. We're gonna have to say that other shirt for another time, baby. We have to get
Oh no.
warmed up. But I would
Yeah, like
love to
man.
wear all the other schools. Like I'm into the HBCUs. I mean, now, granted, mine is the best. Okay, WSSU is the number one, but as far as although we want all the yards to have some space. So send it. Y'all get tired of seeing our extra stuff. I will wear it. Scale says she's not participating in any of that nonsense. But I would be more than happy
Telling
to
all my
showcase
business.
their apparel. No, we don't want to misinform. Okay, we do not want to misinform. And that's why I say, okay, it is totally fine that we disagree on this because I would be more than happy to and really the whole goal of the show is to spotlight everyone, even though we know which one is the best.
No, I'm totally with HBCU like apparel, like the just like the brand, the umbrella
Mm-hmm.
HBCU. I will definitely wear that. And I even on my page, I do, styling, like brands will send me
Mm-hmm.
clothing and I'll like style, in a more modernized way, the
Mm-hmm.
clothing, but I don't know. Will I wear another school? Like, no.
What
Like
could be some other
every
schools
time it's
you
on my
wear?
like tongue though, I just like
Elizabeth City?
choke.
Would you wear Elizabeth City?
That's the only
Okay.
one that I'm kind of like, all right, I might do Liz. Because both my parents are graduates of Elizabeth City State University. So it'd
Right.
be nice to pay homage. So I can do that. I'll probably could do Elizabeth City State.
Okay, okay.
Pray for me for anything else. Cause I don't know. Cause even Liz, I'm like,
Oh no.
well, but I think my mom would probably be smiling from heaven if y'all know my mom passed away. But she and that lady was Elizabeth City State down. You hear me?
Wow. Yes.
Elizabeth City State University down. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So that might be a nice little homage I can pay to my mom. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know mom was in the HBCU in the sky.
Oh girl,
Shout
yeah,
out to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
mom.
And I know she up there at every homecoming.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
that's how I even got the
Correct.
bug. That's how I even knew that that is what you do. Maybe even before I knew that you went and got a degree. I know
Right.
you went
Right.
to
Right.
homecoming. Okay. So yes,
I'm
my
ready for homecoming. Already
like
ready.
literally as soon as it's over, it's like I'm ready. Which is
But
amazing thing about having like a CIAA. And now, the Black College Invitational is like, ooh, we get some homecoming juniors. Okay.
okay, that's kind of how I started seeing the tournaments. It's like, oh, we just get to hang out with other folks. I love me some cousins. So
Cousins.
yes, I
I
am
do love
with
the cousins.
it. I'm with it. I don't know the color. It'd be the color scheme for me. Some of the
Mm,
colors, I don't know if they complement my skin tone as well. As well.
such a thing. Such a
God,
thing.
it
Like when you were
is.
like, we have different opinions, like even some of the comments that we were responding to, she was all like, yeah. And I'm like, well,
Let me tell you some details.
if you want
Yes,
to get into
because
some facts and figures, let's get into some facts and figures.
right, because I'm here fueled off of opinion and love. Okay, okay,
And
I
it's
am
so
Care Bear
cute. And
stare.
it's like, yeah, and like that. And I'm like, we're all family. We all love each other. What you want?
We know that ain't the case. I be trying. Okay, I'm like Glinda the good.
I'll be Elphaba. I'm Elphaba.
So I hadn't seen the new Wicked. We can talk about that offline, but I hadn't seen the new Wicked. And I'm like really obsessed with the Wizard of Oz story. So I'm trying to give myself
Mm.
time. But I'm watching. I ain't ready yet. I don't know. I'm not ready yet. It's something about the I don't know the bad side of the story that makes me I don't wanna think about that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and again, I'm like, we gotta talk about it.
Put it on the carpet. All right, talking about it. Yeah, we have been rolling. We're on episode 3, and we have been reading you all's comments, and what a plethora of opinions that we have. We have been talking through, of course, it's CIAA time. CIAA recently moved the tournament from Charlotte to Baltimore, and it has caused quite the stir. And then now we hear that Charlotte is bidding for it again. And we were really interested, like, where are some other places that it could go? So that started quite a stir in the chat. So let's see, Scale. Let's hit the chat and see what folks have been saying.
And while you guys are commenting, make sure you like.
Yes, hit that
Okay,
like
don't be just sit
button.
up and say a little comment. Make sure you like
Right.
the post so other people can maybe potentially see it and comment themselves.
Absolutely. Make sure you share it in your alumni groups because y'all need some feet to stand on. Okay. Y'all got to bring some legs. We are a SU crew over here, and we know SU gonna show up. So if we say something about your school, or we don't say something about your school, we need to recognize it. Throw that in the comments. We love us a comment. Okay, let's hit these comments. Where we at? Boom, 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 boom. All right. Where did our comments go?
Where did
Comment,
our
comment,
comments go?
comment. Where did
Where
our
did our
comments go?
comments go?
Where did our
Where did
comments go? All right, we had Dr. Buford tap in and said, as a Claflin University alumnus and South Carolinian, Charlotte is probably more convenient for me to attend CIAA. With that being said, I prefer the tournament stay in Baltimore. Okay. When the games were in Charlotte, it felt like the majority of people in town had no idea about the actual games or even what CIAA was. That always bothered me. Baby, it bothered me that you didn't know what CIAA was. Like, what you mean you did? Y'all didn't know what CIAA was. How you feel about that?
it
What you
go?
think, Scale?
Let's see. I think I mean, just to have all these people on the same page, while would probably be nice, I think that's pretty unrealistic. Like
Mhm.
you want everybody in Charlotte. Yeah, that sounds great. Like definitely like rainbow stars, like all that. But
Right.
are they? Like it's not. Like like there's been plenty of times I visited Charlotte and there's been so much going on. I'm like, what is going on? And it's some
Mhm.
concert by somebody and I have no idea who they are.
Right.
Like I'm
Right.
not the target audience, but the target audience, whether they were in Charlotte or not in Charlotte, knew. And I mentioned offline, like the business is new. Like I had a
Mhm.
friend that like literally like had to walk out of work because she's like, they said that we can't leave work. They said everybody has to come and be on point, and we need as many sales associates as possible because a lot
Right.
of people are coming to the city. So I just like in Raleigh when we have Dreamville Fest, it's
Mhm.
always weird. Like you'll be on one side of town and everybody is hyped for Dreamville. You go to another side of town and people like Dream who?
What is
I'm
that?
awake. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel
Right.
like
Right.
that's just not a realistic
Right. Is that between
thing.
Cary and Raleigh? I don't
Is that a new city?
know.
Like, is that a new restaurant? Like, what is Dreamville? It's just not a thing.
Right. I
So
definitely think the bubble, yeah, we exist in sometimes matter. I know here in Greensboro, I've lived in Greensboro off and on for years, and CIAA was one of the biggest things ever. And I was like, wow, like this is huge.
huge,
But
yeah.
and that honestly is kind of what kept me away because I don't do huge in the way that I assumed that it was. And then, of course, we have the entire culture there because we have so many schools that have access and the amount of time. I think it was there for like 15 years. So the amount of time that it was there just makes such a big difference because you already have it implanted in. And then you have the other aspects. I mean, we be getting down in the Carolinas, okay? So you definitely have people that come in for the entertainment side of it to party with the celebrities, to party with the other kind of people where maybe the games themselves aren't as focused on. And you get, people opting for a day party versus coming to the game. So you run the risk of, oh, the tournament is not actually getting the revenue as well as the city is. So sometimes I think
And
we
I
wrap
and I
that
mean,
back up.
I think it like I think when it was in Charlotte, it was just so many people. Like I said in the last episode, that's when CIAA I feel like just went global, as in
Mm-hmm.
everybody knew what it or that something was going on in Charlotte, as opposed to when
Mm-hmm.
it was in a Raleigh, when it now in a Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? So I think
Right.
it gets a bad rep, but like I don't know. I don't have the numbers, with me, but like people were at the games. Like,
Right.
okay, like during the day games, and that's even when it was in Raleigh, like when there's work and when there's like those games, like during the week, the beginning of the week, it might be a little sparse. But
Right.
especially I remember when we were in when Winston won, I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
even in Charlotte. But when Winston was announced that they was in the championship game, I literally got my car, drove to Charlotte to go to the game. I mean, and regardless if you just not sticking for the culture, if your team get knocked out of the tournament
Mm-hmm.
and on a Wednesday or Tuesday, but you still already had your non-refundable,
Right.
this, that, and the third, you still gonna go to the city. And not everybody is just gonna be committed to just going to the game.
That's
When
a
I was
great
in
point.
Baltimore, yeah, when I was in Baltimore, I came on Thursday and like we knew last year, we knew Winston was
Mm-hmm.
going far. We knew,
Yep.
but they
That's
got
why I ended up there
knocked
last
out.
year.
Right,
They
but they
got
got
knocked
knocked
out
out
on my way
so
up. I was
early.
like,
On my way up.
what? What?
Yeah, do I turn around? What do I do here? You know what I'm saying? And there
Right.
were
Oh
people who
God.
were Winston people who were there, and like nobody
Uh-huh.
went to the championship game because Winston
Yeah.
wasn't in the game. So those are things you have to think about. I feel like like I said, I get it. I think it's more like a hot take. Well,
Mm-hmm.
when it was in Charlotte, it was all about the parties and but like I think that's a very hot take, and not that there's not any like validity behind it, but like
Right.
people were definitely at the games. The first year they had the best attendance at the games, and then I
Mm-hmm.
guess after that it might have went down. But like I don't know. Like I said, like I just feel like when you're bringing in more people, there's just more opportunities to do more things. So when it's in a
Agreed.
smaller place like a Raleigh, like the same opportunity is not there. You know what I'm saying? So I do think
Mm-hmm.
it just gets a bad rap. But like people were at the games, and so maybe
Absolutely.
the numbers like fluctuate or whatever because there's other things to do outside of the city. But like
Mm-hmm. I know even last year in
It won't
Baltimore, it
the
was,
see
huh?
no, that was gonna be a bad. Well, it won't like the tournament, the Chris Paul tournament. It ain't sparse numbers like that. Like it was people at the games.
I know last year I enjoyed seeing schools that I had never seen before. Lincoln was so lit last year. They were, I mean, they changed the game for me last year. They had so much fun in those stands. And that's also something different. You have access to, like, some of those schools aren't going to travel or can't travel, right? They're
Can't
going to use,
travel.
they at the end of their season, they're going to use their travel budget up. You want them to come all over the place. But to see other people be able to participate, I have a friend that went to Bowie State, and he's like, "We're getting together because this is his like first CIAA." He was like, "Oh, I see what y'all did last year. I can't miss this." So I think just because again, we're talking about 15 years strong in Charlotte. Now I think we're on year 3 or 4, and is it 3 or 4
I can't
in
believe
Baltimore?
it was 15 years. That is a
That's
very
a lot. I
long
mean, and that's a
stint.
run, right? You can retire. We retire, companies at that at that length of time. That's pension worthy. So
Jeez.
it's definitely, not ignored when we say we understand, the passion for Charlotte and even the way that it changed the city. We're talking millions and millions of dollars of revenue into the city. And of course we get into all of the CIAA surcharge and blah, baby. You ever been to Vegas? Vegas exists under a surcharge. Okay. Like their entire model
They
is
got
a surcharge.
congestion pricing here in New York.
Exactly. Exactly. Like that's the thing. Even I mean, we seen how what's my people, Waffle House started charging 50 cents for eggs. Baby, Biscuitville been doing that forever. Biscuit, if you order shell eggs in Biscuitville, it's 50 cents every time.
So question, like at Greensboro, like the ACC tournament has been in Greensboro.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice the same type of trends? I don't know, congestion pricing or like,
No,
surcharges, all that.
I don't think so necessarily. Also, because I don't immerse myself in that. Now, we do go to Fan Fest, we do go to the games. It's just a completely different culture because it's a completely different crowd that comes here. You don't see the external part of the tournament. Like, there's not like party promoters, like nobody pulling up, especially not here, just because again we don't have any ACC schools directly in the city. But you have, of course, you got Wake Forest, you have Duke, you got Carolina, so you have plenty around, but that's like par for the course here. You know what I'm saying? And just in this area, so you don't necessarily see a lot of that. And then also, the city over the last about 15 years or so, since about 2012, they had a renovation project where they renovated that entire area. They put in new sidewalks, they replaced the streets, they redid the parking, they added parking lots. So you get to there and there's nowhere to like walk to. There's nowhere to go. So you're at that
Oh,
arena the whole time. But also the Hall of Champions is there. So you have interactive things within the Coliseum that keeps everything in one place. But I have never once seen a ACC tournament party. Never. Never. But also the party promoters, they work hard here. They having a party for something every weekend. So
yeah, for
not just like, and
anything.
the people coming for the ACC tournament are a different crowd of people than the people going to the CIAA tournament. And because of that, I think the culture is a little different where we are more community focused. We want to hang
Community.
together. We want to be
Yeah.
together. We want to do things where we entertain each other and we want to have us a good time. We're going to have us a cookout. We're going to have us a kickback. We're going to have us a day party. Like we're going to do those things no matter what. You know what I mean? We see that in all types of, levels in our community and in our culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody passed away, we're going to have us a good time about it. So that's just the nature of us. So
A
we
3-year-old's
don't
birthday party? Bring the
turn
liquor.
up, okay? Turn up. We turned up. We don't have to scrape our auntie off the floor. Okay, we turn it up. So I think that is just some of the different ways. And then also, again, we have GHO here. We have Central, which has, pretty up and coming homecoming, like bigger crowd homecoming. I know for us last year at SU, baby, every parking lot you could find was packed. We tailgated on top of tailgates, on top of back gates, on top of south gates. We tailgated everywhere. So I think just that, and right now coming out of 1 2 3 4 years off of quarantine where I'm saying the world was closed up a little bit, the more we get out of that and back into kind of who we are. We miss each other. We want to see each other. I know for me, it's like two people I met last year at CIAA. I can't wait to see again. So you get that camaraderie going back and forth. It just makes such a big difference. Oh, so okay. So we got tournament towns. We got, even additional tournaments. Let's back it out to the city. I know last week I kind of ragged on Jackson State about their, street infrastructure. But what are some of the best cities that HBCUs are? This is a good chance for y'all to drop in the comments. If your HBCU is in a really great space, drop it down in there.
Yeah.
I know for me, campus wise, I'm still kind of biased to our campus, specifically because of my degree. So I have a lot of mapping, like GIS, topographical, even standard cartography in my degree. So the elevations that you have at WSSU ranges so much. And if you've ever done homecoming and had to walk our campus, baby, your legs never recover. Never recover, because you up and down, up and down, up and down. But that's a quality that I like. That's character for me. You know what I mean? I can see, you know what I'm saying, the field from the Anderson Center. The Anderson Center is up on the hill. Like it has character. So what have you been to? What other places have you been or seen that had really nice campuses?
So my dad played football for Elizabeth City, and he even said like back then Winston was one of his favorite campuses to like look at. So
Mm-hmm.
like that's a thing, even
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth City Stan said that. But I went to Virginia State. I really did enjoy how sprawling their campus is. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
just huge. And so it felt like, I mean, we all say like our city, our campus is like a city within a city or whatever, but like it felt like a whole city. They had multiple calves, which
Okay.
again is insane to me. Like,
Yeah.
listen, it's not that big. And I was just like, oh my God. So it felt so good. And I don't know if I recently heard like the history
Mm-hmm.
of Virginia State.
Mm-mm.
So at first, well, I think they eventually like moved the land so somebody from Virginia State can clarify in the comments, but like it was first like a breeding ground for slaves.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So from that, it went theological school bought the land, and then after that, I think they moved it, and that's when it became Virginia State. So maybe not the grounds that they are
Right.
on right now, but like that's like the evolution of the school, which is like
Okay.
just an insane thing to even think about. And it's like, I, you can look at it from a negative perspective, but that's the type of thing that makes me think of like when the term um our ancestors' wildest dreams,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
from that terrible time, what they did. And like, they used to put like a cover over like the male slaves, like because
Yep.
they didn't care who they were breeding the slaves with.
Right.
So it could have been a mother, a aunt, a cousin, or whatever. So
Right.
to go, to being shackled and chained to like, people getting degrees and going on and making significant contributions to this world, like that evolution is amazing. So I try to
Right.
think of
Like
it from that.
metaphorically, it's another breeding ground, if we will,
Yeah.
for us, but in a
Yeah.
positive
Ooh.
way.
Positive.
In
I
a
love
positive,
that.
like
I
repurpose
love that
that
take.
land, repurpose that ground,
Yeah.
re-nourish that soil. You're
Mm-hmm.
again studying earth and
Renourish.
geology, the way that things happen. Everything is connected spiritually and in energy. So you have
Mm-hmm.
all of that bad energy like in the soil of those places, and now to be able to
Mm.
restructure and repurpose and fill those same plots of land with love, and continuing
Mm.
to push out, right, like almost
Mm-hmm.
as it was intended, push out the best of the best. So I
Mm-hmm.
love that. I can't wait to dig into that story. I'm
Mm-hmm.
from Virginia, and growing up, you learn Virginia history. So we went to Jamestown and Yorktown and Williamsburg and all of those places. I never learned about slavery.
Mm.
Never. It was all Native Americans and John Smith and Pocahontas. Them. Never learned about it.
Crazy.
The
And
Great
not
Dismal
them.
Swamp. Like, and I'm afraid almost to do some of that digging because of what it will do to me. I went to
Yeah,
Charleston some years ago.
it definitely hits you here, and it's like your chest gets tight, and it's like,
Yeah.
what in the world,
Yes.
you know?
Because it's even the unlearning. Like, I remember being so proud from
Unlearning
being from Virginia because this is where the colony started and all of that. And it grow up and it's like, wait a
for all the
minute.
wrong reasons, right? Like that has nothing
Right.
to do with with your history. Yeah.
Right. So as
Um.
we get into like land grants, you know what I'm saying, coming around,
Mhm.
early 19 or excuse me, 1800s, even for all the HBCUs. So yeah, HBCUs have come through so much because they've had to literally build on the land that they were killed on.
And
So
speaking of one of my favorite stories, again, traveling to these HBCUs is freaking FAMU's story. Like why they are so engrossed in love and like ride for their university. So,
mhm.
one of their statements is the highest of the seven hills.
Okay.
So, so it's kind of like that's how the city is built. So it's literally on the highest of all the hills in the city.
Okay.
And so like the reason why they're the rattlers is because there were the snakes were on that ground and they
Uh-huh.
had to, so they said, yeah, y'all can have a little university, but you got to put it there.
Right where the snakes at.
Right. So they got rid of the
Child.
snakes and have it, but now everybody looks up to FAMU.
Them you,
If you
yeah.
like, it's the highest of the
Right.
seven hills, and all the other schools that are in the city have to look up to
Absolutely.
FAMU.
As
So
you should.
again, taking something, yeah, you should already did it metaphorically, but like now
Right.
figuratively, now you literally have to look up to FAMU. So
Hmm.
again, another story of taking something and taking nothing and making it into something, just like we've always had to do. It's just such ingrained into our persons. But now, like, now you have to look the decisions of people who were obviously it was all built on racism and all these other things, and now you have to always look up to FAMU. And I just feel
Right.
like that's just such a beautiful freaking story where like y'all thought we wasn't
Right.
gonna get rid of these snakes. Y'all
And
thought we
now look
wasn't
at
gonna
you.
blah 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 blah. Now look at you. Now you
Right.
mad because you have to look up to FAMU every single time you go to school.
Right. I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. And that just makes me like bring us back to current day, thinking about, I mean, you said, FAMU specifically, our agricultural schools got hit really hard this last week with the 18, not like the repeal of the 1890 scholarship. Like I know here, the other local university in Greensboro and the Blue and Gold, they were hit really hard with some of the programming that they have here, and that has trickled across the country. We got a list of like 25 to almost 30 because that's what we do. Like agriculture is, a part of our history. It's a part of our culture. So we can't. I'm not going to talk about that. No, I would
Mm-hmm.
rather wear an A&T shirt. Uh, Speaking of
But the good
change,
thing is though, like we just said about Virginia State, like we just said about FAMU, there's just gonna be a way. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Like we make something out. I mean, something out of nothing every single time. So yes, you can take away the land grants, and for people that don't know, it's a scholarship program that is used to increase the number of agricultural
you got me
students
on there.
in the country's right 19 historically black led grant universities. So it's federally funded, but then that's the thing, like it's federally funded and it's still been underfunded. Like these
hmm
universities, all of our universities have still been underfunded, and look how much growth you know our
Absolutely.
HBCUs have seen. And so yeah, we're gonna find a way. You know what I'm saying? And I like stuff like this makes us band together because
Agreed.
like F what like I said, like it's always Winston against everybody, but when it
hmm
comes down to it, it's HBCUs against everybody.
Period.
Just like when Bennett was gonna close.
Yep, I was just about to say Bennett, and then
I got on that
was it
phone so
St.
fast
Aug?
and gave some
Yeah, listen, I did a
money.
whole campaign with I have I do bracelets. I did a whole Bennett Bell bracelet. We sold bracelets hard for
Oh,
like at like 100% went back to Bennett. So we
wow,
worked
that's
hard here
beautiful.
in the city to get Bennett back, and we really it was really nice nice to see it come together. And even like I said with St. Aug, when they went through some troubles last year, was it St. Aug or Livingston? I think it was St. Aug. They
St.
went through
Aug,
some
yeah.
things a couple of years ago, you know, getting their accreditation back. That took some work. We're gonna show up. We're gonna pull up. You're not
We're
just
gonna
gonna
show
close.
up for each
We had
other.
Morehouse, but not Morehouse, Morris Brown come back after years. You know what I'm saying? They were able to restart themselves because of the culture, and we understand that education matters for us all, even if it's not the same color that we wear or that we graduated from.
Right,
And
right.
it just shows evolution. It as we kind of transition through, it reminds me of we're still doing the first of things. So we have Fisk University, the first HBCU with a gymnastics program. And we learned this week that they're going through a coaching change. Their coach, Corrine Tarver, she's out as head coach. She started back, excuse me, a few years ago and started the program, and she really worked hard. And then her assistant coach, Noria Mack, she's the interim coach now. And Mack, she started with Fisk as like a meet director and the social media manager. Maybe there's hope for me, okay? There's hope for me. So I thought
Hire
that was
me.
a very interesting evolution, but I, you know, did a little digging, and she actually has, you know, a lot of gymnastics coaching experience. So even though they have an open, you know, of course they're looking for a new head coach, I think they have a really solid coach already at home, already familiar with the program. And I kind of love it because now, like, okay, yes, the head coach is leaving, but that kind of, it's like a seed, like a sprout or spores, where it's like, okay, now we have the other opportunity to go somewhere else and do another program. And now, or I'm inspired. Hearing her story even made me say, you know what, I'm not that far away from doing something, you know, for the first time, if nothing else, or that far away from continuing to cultivate a culture or cultivate even a sport specifically where we just don't see a lot of us highlighted. Because I won't say we are not in gymnastics, we are definitely in gymnastics, but to be able to see and it spread across, I'm a little excited to see. I mean, when you have succession, that is a good thing in a business. When you have the opportunity to hand the baton over to someone else, that continues to breed encouragement, especially on a high end, right? Because it's not like I'm handing you something bad, like go forth and grow this thing. So I'm excited to hear about the coaching changes. Had you heard any buzz or had you seen anything about anybody say anything about the Fisk coaching changes over in their gymnastics program?
Have I seen people talking like beyond sharing like the information
Mm-hmm.
that's out there? No. But you know what? That when you were talking, it made me think of um like how our high profile black athletes are becoming coaches at HBCUs, like football coaches. I'm like, Simone Biles that's graduate or that's like retiring, or I think that would be
Mm-hmm.
super dope if, and of course I know she got to do her thing with her husband, like,
Right. Okay.
yeah,
Retired a little bit. My girl been on the run for a
like,
long time.
yeah, like I'm like, oh, what if, some of those high profile athletes, Olympians and things like that, started being coaches in that realm. And then even, I mean, of course we got women's basketball, like, those more well-known or sports like that. But like, or even having programs. I know she has, things going on in Texas and stuff like that. But like,
Right.
I think, and then even when you were saying like a lot of us aren't highlighted, but like I think it's just another thing rooted in like kind of like racism and stuff, where it's like that stuff is really expensive. I remember wanting
Yeah.
to do
It
gymnastics
is.
when I was a kid, and it's so expensive.
It
And
is.
so as we keep growing, socioeconomically as a community and things like that, I'm like, I think more of us will be able to get into it because we'll be able to afford it, because there'll be
Mm-hmm.
more programs out there for us. So I'm actually more excited to see us coming in, taking over. I mean, movement and dance and stuff like that is like kind of embedded in our like blood.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not
Mm-hmm.
that we weren't able to do it. It's not that we weren't good at it. It's that we were kind of pushed pushed out of it. Even like
Absolutely.
swimming, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Where like they were like literal swimming pools that like, pushed us out. Like you can, if
Hmm.
you are, colors aren't allowed here type of thing. So now that we are
Right.
getting away from that, or even people building our own, like I said, like a Simone Biles, I'm excited to see us really getting in and taking over things that we was already good at naturally
I agree.
anyway. So
I would
I'm
love
excited
to
about
see. I would love to see a gymnastics program out in Texas. I'll tell you that. I'm them tech like Texas in general. They are cheer, gymnastics, like those type of sports are huge out there.
that.
One of my coworkers, she left Missouri to move to Texas so her girls could cheer in Texas.
I love
Like
that.
it's huge. I mean, football is huge in Texas as a culture in general.
Mm-hmm.
So those
Mm-hmm.
auxiliaries, I mean, even if we think about like the NFL, you don't really know too many like of course the Panthers. We love the Panthers because shout out to Brandy SU out there at the Panthers, but I can't think of too many, even NFL teams outside of the Cowboys. Like, they have a TV show for their cheerleaders. So I'm just changing over. We not to say we do more than science and engineering, but the movement of our body, kinesiology, if anything else, understanding how energy moves from place to place, understanding how you can change a culture with energy. Like that's my jam. So
Mm-hmm.
having the ability to do those things and support our young girls and boys and whoever wants to
Yo,
do
because
those.
I saw a video of this man doing gymnastics. I was just like, and it was, a black man. I was just
I
like,
wonder if it was
oh
Frederick.
my
Yo, he ain't
God.
no joke.
The strength, the coordination, I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
this is one of the most amazing displays of athleticism I have ever seen in my life.
But you know
So,
what? I bet you we could go somewhere, and I ain't gonna say pull up to the hood, but I bet you it's some little boys outside flipping across a whole set of mattresses or flipping across the yard with that same level of skill, and it's
yeah,
just not cultivated
it's
because
not cultivated.
go play basketball, go play football, go to school and be corporate. Like those things aren't even cultivated from the inside of our own culture. So I would just
And
love to
now,
see more
yeah,
youth
I agree with
participate.
because to your point, it's not about like not pushing, STEM or anything like that, but it's about if somebody has this creative bug inside of them, like we had to catch up. We're still playing catch up. So it's like, no, you got to get a job. You got to do this. You got to do that. But fostering the cultures is definitely something that is like, that helps in every realm because like if you are competitive like in gymnastics any sport honestly like it teaches dedication, it teaches like you could be your very best at something and still lose and like
Mm-hmm.
how do you then pick yourself up from that. So like sports is such a good thing. And like and when you said that I was thinking of one time I took my nephew, so he might have been 6 to the park, and he was doing the monkey
Monkey
bars
bars. Mm-hmm.
pulling up, and I was like,
Why are you this strong?
you're a baby. How are you doing this?" But even this man, he was it was this white man out there. He had his daughter, and he was like, "How old is your son?" Look like he about 16. The way that he
Right.
his
And don't
strength,
take it too
not
far, Mr. White Man. Don't take it too far.
right. But I think he was genuinely impressed as I was. Because
Right.
first of all, I'm like, well, little boy, when have you even been pulling up on like like all these things are going through? Like, when did you start pulling up on stuff? So just the fact that you just naturally, your natural instinct was to start doing pull-ups on the monkey bar, I'm just like, you're a genius. Like,
Right.
like your body is
Right.
your little body is so amazing.
Right.
So, it's not that we didn't don't have it. It's that there needs to be places to foster it. And like, even being in New York, I think about like how it's easy to put up a goal and like not even a real goal. You take a
Mm-hmm.
basket, put some cardboard up and you can make a hoop. And so
Yep.
that's just so much more economical, you know what I'm saying? To where
Yep.
like how do you where do you get a balance beam from?
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that. So just you just think about stuff like that. So I'm excited to see more black people taking their place in, gymnastics and dance and sports and making it so black. Like, these routines with Beyonce or even their leotards with
Mm-hmm.
Delta on it. Like I'm like, yo,
Yes.
we just so Like why? Like it just
Everything.
oozes from our pores. Like
Right. It's
it's just
crazy.
so
Like
easy.
I hate to say phenotype, but like it is different being embodied as a Black person, how your body moves, how your body understands the rest of life. So we see a lot of kids, like
Hmm.
sometimes sports is a great thing for their grades because it gives them the ability to balance that energetic space that they're in. They have a
Mm.
balance. They can sit down and do that, even if it's in small increments, but they have a balance because they know their bodies are going to do this amazing thing. So it is. I'm really excited for the gymnastics program, for all the programs that are going to start, but they have to start somewhere, right? And sometimes, I mean, inclusion was something that came to mind just now when you said, having to make a
Mm.
basketball goal out of nothing. Like literally, example of everything that we are is having to make something out of nothing. So I'm really excited. So
Yeah.
we talk about making something out of nothing. We're coming up on CIAA. Yes, we're talking about CIAA again. Yes, we're gonna talk about it again
It's next
because
week, people.
it's next week, one, and it's the 50th anniversary for the women's tournament, which is exciting.
Crazy.
Exciting, especially
Crazy.
considering that the CIAA was started almost 60, 50 years before that, back in like 1912. We didn't have our first women's CIAA till 1970. So the 70s are just kind of one of my favorite periods of time because it was such a transition. Like 1976, it was such a transition, for us as a culture. We come through the civil rights movement coming out of the 60s, and we're starting to rebuild. That's the other things were happening with women. We able to get credit cards, we're able to get a job, we're able to do so many things. So I think the women's tournament coming up, sprouting up right here. Shout out to Title IX, making sure everyone is included. So we have the ability to do those things, and it was a showcase for CIAA specifically because CIAA is one of the oldest African American athletic conferences. It started off as the colored athletic, like intercollegiate athletic conference. So now it's obviously the central because we did away with color, um, but it's just such a huge impact. It gives, Division II schools the opportunity to, filter into the NCAA tournaments. And like it is just the women's tournaments have really, I think, changed the game. Even in respect to like now, we see a couple of years ago, we saw how differently the NCAA women players were treated from the men players. And it's like we're always, we call it the glass ceiling in corporate America, but that exists, I'm saying, almost at every level that we are
Everywhere.
at. So I'm really excited that they're getting the ability to highlight that. And then we're definitely like, that's a real big reason I want to show up for the whole tournament because I want every single girl in there to know that Sheena is in there rooting for her. If I got to wear everybody's shirt, I ain't wearing them jerseys though. Have you seen those jerseys? Have you seen the CIAA jerseys from
How I
collegiate?
say? Yeah. I
The new.
don't know.
Tell me why you like them. Tell me why you like them.
I think okay, let me because now I'm like, wait, did I miss something? Let me go. Let me
I seen him last night. I had a look.
Yeah, I thought I seen it last night too, but now
I would receive.
the way that you
So
acting, I'm like, did I miss something?
I just, I don't know. One, so being a spotter for football, having to sit up in the stands and look at numbers across the field, you get very specific about the way things look, right? And I just the I like the men tournament jerseys are different than the women tournament jerseys. Different material, different print, different everything. For me, it gave Shein. Like it gave, we printed it on every like it's not even jersey material. Um and
Oh,
then
let me look. Let me look. Like, what did I miss?
and then it's like in this old English font, like Winston. The name is really small across here. I would have liked more effort. I don't know. I don't know because I don't want to take away from the designer. I know they have their reasons, right? But I was really excited for these jerseys. And I wanted one so bad. So bad. I wanted one so bad. And
Yeah,
the men jerseys look dope. Like they're jerseys with embroidered logos, and I
I can't stand for now.
mm,
They are. Oh,
I
so
don't.
is it the men's have like just the jerseys, like the regular jerseys, and this is because the women's are like they trying to highlight the 50th.
Yes.
No,
So
you
it
still
does
not
have
with
the
it.
50th
You
emblem.
still not with
Like
it.
it does. It has the 50th emblem on it. So even like the lettering is gold. And I was like, that,
I
I
like the
mean,
gold.
we were, now I don't mind the gold. And you know me,
Yeah.
I got to do a little bit of digging because 50th anniversary was not enough for me to excuse what was going on. So I went to dig, and then me just, branding and design. I said, okay, well, let me just look because I know this got to make sense somewhere. And a lot of goal in Baltimore specific, like the Baltimore, like their city emblem is gold and black. The Baltimore Ravens, their trim is gold in the logo. So I think it does incorporate the Baltimore into the 50th, anniversary, and represents Baltimore in the CIAA, which I love. I am the biggest fan of it being there. So for that, I cannot hate on it, but I just didn't. It's really the font that's pissing me off. It's really the
Yeah,
font.
I can see the font. I can see why the font and maybe not even the font,
I
but
gotta
like
see
yeah,
him in person,
Winston-Salem
man.
is very small. Is it because of school? So because people be like, why you put the in front of the Winston-Salem State University? It's already too long. And I'm like, it's already what?
Baby, you lucky I didn't put illustrious old state. The
Ain't
illustrious
nothing,
old
ain't
state,
nothing
you
too long for
Winston-Salem
Winston-Salem
State
State. Ain't
University.
that
Okay?
right? I'm like, first of all, you just
No,
gonna
put some
sit here and
respect
listen
on
to
it.
me saying what school I go to? Because like, who gonna tell me I can't put the in front of whatever? Okay, anyway,
Okay.
um, I don't know. I think the only part that, like, to your point, like, I don't like how small Winston-Salem is, but then again, that's like, maybe that's because it's such it's a longer word. Maybe that's why.
It
Yeah, I
fits on
don't
the
know. I'm
jerseys they
looking
wear
at it.
now. It fits
I
on the
do.
jerseys they already had.
Oh yeah, they do already got. Yeah, maybe. The only
See
yeah
him in
that's
person.
the would have preferred the embroidery for
I
sure.
gotta see him in person.
I
I
prefer the
gotta see him in
embroidery.
person. And
What do we think
honest,
about like the tiger print on the side though? You don't like
I couldn't
the
find a correlation, and I was even teased. And I was like, if they wanted to be cool, they could have put leopard print, since leopard is like the thing of the season right now.
I would
Leopard
have
cheetah
loved to
print,
see a
like
leopard print. And
the
like
girl.
not
Don't
even
make me
in the
bring my sewing
colors.
machine.
Oh, if every girl's team had leopard print on the side, not even in the like literal leopard print, that would be so
That would be dope.
stinking cute.
Or even, how they have to wear the compression shorts underneath, and they have leopard compression shorts. Bro, I'm about to make me a whole basketball uniform.
That
Don't
would
be
be so
mad when I
cute.
come out there and look like a basketball player, okay? I'm gonna just have a
Yeah,
whole. Don't worry
that'd
about
be
it. I
so
need me a
cute.
headband too. Yeah.
And look, and this is the thing. So this is what I mean. Like this is what I envision when they ask us to come to the tournaments or any HBCU events. What's going on the court is cool. Do you see this girl in the stands with that leopard print on?
Okay.
Oh, we
Okay.
gotta get her down here. Oh,
Oh,
do you see him with them? Yeah, that's what I want to do. Like, what is going on in around the culture? There are people they're talking about the games. That's amazing. And they're going to, right? But yeah, I need to be talking about what's going on in the stands. And I can talk about the game, like, oh my God, like you see that bust down? Like she playing basketball to
exactly.
bust
And that's
down.
that brings me back to why attendance at the game is so important, because not only should you be there to like see the game, but like show pride, like show up for your school. Come be a trophy for your school. Okay, they didn't win, but I'm in the stands looking good. They're gonna talk about us. Okay, they're gonna forget about that loss because did you see her? Okay, that girl from SU was
Facts.
flyer.
Facts.
Flyer. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I
I don't think, I mean, we're
I'm
talking about
excited.
clothes. We're talking about clothes and like cute outfits and stuff, but we didn't tell the people where we got our gear from.
Where did we get our gear from? Okay,
So you being
cool.
funny. You don't want people to shop. You want
No,
people to have your outfit on.
no. No, actually. I told you I
Right.
thrifted some of mine. I thrifted some of mine. Uh, where'd you get yours from?
Game sports gear.
Ooh,
I
oh, game
absolutely
sports gear.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Oh, they got
absolutely
this
love that.
jacket. They got this tan jacket I want.
I
It's
have
like,
it. What? I mean, what?
now I gotta
What?
have it because now we gotta look like a sorority. Me and you, we in our own sorority.
Right, we can just go ahead and get it embroidered like Queens
Period.
of the
Period.
Yard
That's the
podcast.
idea right there. That's what I told. I was gonna do. I was gonna get. I was gonna get a jersey and then get Queens of the Yard put on
Oh,
the
that's
back of
cute.
it. I think
That's
that would
cute.
be fun. I would think. I
But
think that would be
yeah,
fun.
and as much as you love Bowie State, Cheeto graduated from Bowie State. So
Really?
the owner of the brand, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Shout out HBCU.
He always reps Bowie State or whatever. So like yeah, and
That's
I
what's
mean they have
up.
just such the cutest stuff. Like and well, I have so many pieces.
Bet.
Um, so y'all make sure
Ooh.
y'all shop Game Sports Gear. Stephen A. Smith had this on, so that's why I kind of put it on because Stephen A. Smith had it on. I
Oh.
had him
I,
before him, but
all right.
I
So
just
we
want you to know
wrapped up.
Stephen A. Smith.
We're not gonna talk about him on here. I feel about Stephen A. the same way you feel about my A&T sweatshirt. I got cussed out about him last year at CIAA, bro. He was probably hungry. Okay, my boy was probably hungry because he laid me out in that corner about Stephen A. Smith. I said, please, sir, I don't ever want to hear about you or Stephen A. Smith ever again.
Aww. I got He was at the NBA well All-Star weekend when of course Winston played and had on Winston
Okay.
gear. I thought it was so like cute.
Cute, I
But I
guess.
know we have a special guest or something.
Yes, we got us a guest. We want to welcome Erica to our podcast. Welcome, Erica. Erica is one of our friends, our HBCU girlies. She is from Howard University.
Love a good
And
HBCU girly.
we love us an HBCU girly, RVA girly, right? You from? I'm a Virginia girly too. So hey, VA in the building, two up, two down. So
Two up.
we are so excited to come. I know I'm excited to come to Baltimore again. I know last time we had us a good time last year. We went to places. We went to church last year. I got to go to church with the Howard Indians. I don't know what Howard called the Bison. I guess that's what they
Howardites.
call them.
Howardites.
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 Yeah.
I
And
got to
look
go.
what you got on.
I,
Howard University gear.
I did not
We
expect
Erica,
to see
and the
that.
reason why I am highlighting that because somebody tried to get on this pod with another school on her chest. And I said, no ma'am. We'll shut this whole ish
She
down.
wasn't having it. She was not gonna have it. Okay, she was not gonna have it. She was not gonna have it. So thank you so much for joining us. We
Of
know
course.
that Baltimore has such a rich culture of history and heritage. We want to know from you because we're outsiders. We're not there. We want to hear from you. We want to know what we need to pull up and do, where we need to eat, what can we expect, or what can we do when we get there.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. I think I have a kind of like a unique perspective because I'm from Richmond, from Chesterfield. So I grew up in CIAA country, right between Virginia Union and Virginia State. My mom was a professor at Virginia State for many years. She still is. So very, very familiar with CIAA culture. A lot of my family went to CIAA schools in North Carolina and in Virginia. So, but I'm a MEAC girly. But now
That's
living
okay.
living in Baltimore for 10 years, um,
Oh wow.
I understand why it seems a little difficult to figure out what's happening. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
going
elaborate.
Going to Charlotte, you had the epicenter where everything was kind of centralized in that one location as far as parties and events were concerned for the tournament. In Baltimore, we have the power plant, which is right in the Inner Harbor, which is going to be hosting a ton of events. But Baltimore has some very, very cool venues that I think the party promoters have found.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it actually expands you a little bit out of the Inner Harbor hotel area. Um, Baltimore sometimes has this reputation of being the hood, but
I love
really,
it.
But really, honestly, I think it's just a very black city.
Hmm.
And
And
so
that's literally the code word for it, you
Yep,
know. So
absolutely.
it's
yeah,
it's just a black city, and a lot of the really cool venues and restaurants are in the neighborhoods adjacent to the Inner Harbor. So if
Hmm.
you're willing to travel 5 to 10 minutes north, east, or west, you're going to see some beautiful neighborhoods with some really
Hmm.
cool restaurants and some really cool venues that the party promoters have found for their events this week.
nice. What is
Oh,
your favorite restaurant? Like you and as somebody coming in, like you have to go to.
Goodness, that's hard. I enjoy Poppy Cuisine. That's in Federal Hill, so that's south of the Inner Harbor. It's so good. Um, a lot of people like Black Swan. It's okay. It's a little like hoity-toity for Baltimore, but
not
it's black
hoity-toity.
owned. It's kind of like a I'm gonna say down home, but it's
Hmm.
airs about it here.
Okay.
And that's one thing I really like about Baltimore, especially growing up in a place like Richmond, when where it's very, very like nose in the air,
Hmm.
DC and stuff like that. So Poppy Cuisine is very good. I have not tried Yebo Kitchen, but that is the hottest restaurant in the city right now. It's black owned, it's African plus Black American plus Caribbean
Okay.
vibes. If you can get a table, if you can get a seat in there, oh my God, like can't even get one and I live here. Like Yebo is like the place to be. Rooted Rotisserie is really good. I really enjoy their chicken. Keith Lee went there, gave it like a 10 out of 10. It's
Ooh,
really phenomenal. And it's also BYOB, so you can bring your bottle of wine with you and they'll uncork it
That's
for you.
cool.
ooh, I
Yeah.
like that. Ooh, wow, beach. Y'all not. You didn't have me until that. Yeah, yeah, might have had me this one.
Not
Bring it yourself. They will cork it and pour it for you.
I'm trying
yeah,
to get
that's dope.
crabs. Am I crazy for wanting crabs when I come? Where can I pull up and get some of
You
those?
can definitely, well, Rooted doesn't have it, but most of these restaurants have crabs. Like it is like on every single.
Yeah,
No, no, no,
I can
no,
see
no, no.
that.
I want somewhere that's gonna put me out back with some newspaper and a bucket.
It
Like I
might
want
be a
that
little,
kind of place.
it might be a little early.
Okay, okay, totally fair, totally fair. So I got to come
That's
back. That's what you're
There's
saying.
seasons,
Okay,
there's
I got to come
levels.
back.
this my alumni club. We host a crab feast every August. Please come. It's all you can eat crab.
Oh,
Oh,
They
yeah.
just leave them
Okay,
on the
say less.
table.
Say less. You know, I that was at the same club y'all did church with last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already a part of that. I'm like, okay, we
You're
already
already in there. You're
there.
already
Okay,
in there.
bet. Say less. So, how you've been there for a few years? How has CIAA impacted the local culture? So, when we leave the tournament, or before we get there, what does it look like when we're there? Before we get there,
Well, let me tell y'all, they have had the CIAA signage up since Christmas.
period.
Like since Christmas, billboard signs. One thing that Baltimore is really good at, they're very appreciative of the businesses that come and the tourists that come. They do not take you all spending your money in the city for granted. And that's all businesses, Black, white, Asian,
Mm-hmm.
Hispanic. They know the CIAA is coming. They are on one accord about wanting to make it the best experience possible for
That's
folks coming to
beautiful.
the city. So you'll see in the coming week, I'll start to tweet more of the little specials they're having and the little things
Mm-hmm.
they're creating just for the CIAA. So you'll see all the restaurants really, really on one accord. The hotels, they make individual key cards with the different schools you're from for your room. Like it's that
Oh,
level
oh,
oh,
of
that's so
beautiful.
cute.
detail.
That
Yeah.
is
One
really
thing I
cool.
did love last year was how decorated every host hotel was. Like
Yes,
that was just such a cute touch. To,
I thought so too.
of course I was at WSSU, but like I was like, let me go see it. I'm like, this is so cute. This is so
Mhm.
cute. So that was like a very, very personal touch that I love.
That's so dope. We got to get you down here to Carolinas. You got to come to SU homecoming with us, Erica. We got to get you down here to the South, baby.
I would enjoy that. I would enjoy
Yes,
that
yes.
actually. You know, I'm on my homecoming
Yeah.
tour, so I would absolutely come. I would absolutely come.
Bet we're gonna have to pull up because I think we're doing a tour as well. I think that's really what our focus is: homecoming and tournaments over the next couple of months. Here we got basketball tournament season, then we get a little bit of break during the summer before we roll into football season. Unless you're going to spring games and stuff like that, which I might be able to do. But yeah, you're gonna definitely have to pull up in Bowman Gray with us, okay? So we have
Yeah,
to do
you
it in the
definitely need to
South,
come to
baby.
Winston's homecoming.
Yay.
Erica, thank you so much for joining. So you said you're gonna put tell us where we can find you so we can find all the stuff that you're gonna share with us this week.
So my handle is at ERLEE 0217, so early 0217 on Twitter. And I will post all the things on there that I find. Another thing I really want to emphasize is that um, the CIAA coming to Baltimore is really fantastic for high school and middle school students and really giving them access to seeing schools that are not in the local area and also like letting them envision themselves in college.
Yes, yes.
And
I
that's
love that.
super, super special. Actually, one of my line sisters is like one of the head recruiters for Virginia State, and
Mm-hmm.
she's here now. And she's just coming and giving out
Hey, girl.
scholarships,
Mm-hmm.
literally giving out scholarships for kids
That's
to
What's
beautiful.
come
up?
to go to CIAA schools and just change their destinies. And I
Yeah, that's beautiful.
special. It's really, really
Yes.
cool.
I
Um,
know a lot of us that went to HBCUs because we saw ourselves in someone else, our parents or our family, or even just like here in Greensboro, you know, A&T is huge. And then in Winston, a lot of the people who go to Winston are from Winston. So being able to, like you said, go into those places and, oh, I want to get away from home. Well, guess what? We all over the place. And now I can see someone somewhere else that, okay, it's not too far, but it's not home. So I definitely,
correct.
and shout out to your girl for doing, the work, the legwork that it takes to get folks in there. That's really our biggest thing when it comes to tournaments and why we, preach about attendance, because the people that need to be in the seats are the people coming up after us. We need to engage the high schools, the middle schools, the elementary schools. We need to like start very young to get them into the lifestyle and the expectation and to see and to show that we all look different and you can be at the top of your game amongst your peers, amongst your own
Right.
community without
Right.
having to look at, oh, Harvard or even, some of the larger Division I schools in their own area, being able to immerse themselves as a culture within us early is so important.
Erica, I want to know, like, it's on the spot, so it don't have to be perfect. What is your pitch to people who are still not sold on CIAA being in Baltimore?
Oh, that's a really good question. Give us a shot. Just because it looked one way doesn't mean the new way it looks is bad. It actually might be more fun. You know what I mean? Like you have to be open to new possibilities. I don't think our parties are any less packed.
Mm-hmm.
I think the games have more people. I just think it's a little chillier and it just looks a little different. And the
Mm-hmm.
CIAA isn't in Charlotte wasn't always warm. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I think that's over exaggerated, but it just looks a little bit different. And if you have preconceived notions about what Baltimore is, maybe you're hesitant, but after living here for 10 years, this is one of the most beautiful places. I mean, I've lived in France, I've lived in New York City, I've lived in DC, I'm from Virginia.
Period.
I've lived all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
My old job sent me to live in Africa and Asia, all these places. And Baltimore is really a special, special place. And if you just give it a chance and maybe pack a fur or like,
I'm
you
a big advocate for furs.
know, a
We
cute
are
boot,
we already planned that.
Big
just
That's
advocate for
good.
furs.
you know what I mean? And just be bundle up a little bit and you're gonna have a wonderful time. We have coat check. It's not like you got to be on the dance floor with, your big coat. So it's
Right. And
fun.
if you support your bartender, you ain't gonna be gone for too long anyway.
Exactly. And
I
so I
love
think it's a
that.
good balance of basketball and fun. It's just
And
Yeah.
I think that's a really great point that you make, being really well traveled. That I think is really why I like Baltimore that much too, because after being traveled and also layering that on top of the knowledge that I have from my own HBCU, you get to a place like Baltimore and it's like everybody here is like me. And you also understand like it's not, some of the things like how you said, oh, it's ghetto or, it's hood. That is just a term, you know what I mean?
Whenever they say that, that means go. Because
Absolutely.
like it's
I
so
was
intentional to say that actually means that's probably where you need to be. If it's
I know
ghetto and hood, you probably need to be there because
I
it's
was
like a
locked
lot of
in.
black excellence.
Yep, last year when I, reserved my hotel room, I went to TripAdvisor and it was like, oh, it's scary. It's this, that, and the other. And I pulled up, I was like, what's so scary about black people? Like, it's nothing wrong with this place. It's just, I got to walk past a few black people. Child, bye. I'm right at home. And I had me such a good
I'm
time the
always at
whole
home.
time. The
Yeah.
whole time. So I'm really excited to get
Yeah.
down there. Thank you so much, Erica. I know you got a hard stop. Thank you so much for pulling up
Let
on
me
us.
let me
No,
say
stay
this
with us.
one little thing. I told
Yes,
my
say
I
it.
told my dietitian I'll be 5 minutes late. Let me say this one little thing. Please try honey Old Bay wings.
Say
It's
Honey, Old Bay wings. Okay.
You can get them in most restaurants.
okay.
They're fried with breading with Old Bay mixed in, and they drizzle honey on it.
Say
Mm.
less.
Your life will be good.
Okay, I'm gonna need some for breakfast every morning. Don't even worry about it.
Honey
Chicken wings, sign me up.
Old
Hmm.
Bay wings, crab cakes, of course, you can get those. But honey Old Bay wings or anything with Old Bay, that's like a big Baltimore thing. A chicken box. Uh,
Hmm.
let me see, what are the special drinks? It's we have these things called orange crushes. They're crush drinks, but that's usually a summertime thing. But they make
Okay.
Mm.
but if they're on the menu, try it. Um,
Okay.
but you will be able to get honey Old Bay wings pretty much everywhere. Very
Say
yum.
less. Honey Old Bay wings. Bring the
Yeah,
fur
put it on
and
the
bring the
list.
pockets so we can support Baltimore and the CIAA.
Yeah. Erica, I hope we get to connect when we come down for the tournament.
In the streets, I will
Yes,
be.
I'm pulling up for you. You're gonna see these cheeks,
Thank
baby.
you.
Thank y'all so much for having me. And
Thank
I
you so
hope
much, Erica.
Yes.
we
Come
love
back
having y'all.
anytime. Come back
Yes,
anytime.
absolutely.
Bye.
Bye, girl.
I love some of the points that she made about so we, it's you being in the HBCU, it's all about, black pride and black excellence and stuff like that. So just the points of like, there's just so many like it's an extension of being at a HBCU and how we support our HBCU so we can go to a place and like, not only support our black HBCU our black schools, but then support a black restaurant and then
Right.
go to like in a black establishment. So I
Hmm.
think that's a very good talking point for being in Baltimore.
Absolutely. I know we're talking about restaurants and stuff, but also pull up the Fan Fest because they have the vendors and a lot of those local businesses that aren't, some of the bigger ones that are some of the sponsor businesses, but some of those small ones that, need that exposure outside of their own city, pull up to Fan Fest and support, like pull your pockets
Yes.
out. Definitely, show up to do the things that we, CIAA is known for. We helped build the things in Charlotte for that same reason. We need to, be responsible and do that in Baltimore as well. So okay, you want it to be somewhere else, but that doesn't mean that you hurt the conference in the meantime or you hurt the local
Yeah.
business in the meantime. So
And that I
I'm
know a lot
super
of
excited
people
about
like
that.
one of the comments, like, I'm not saying, and I will never say, now don't attend the tournament until it's in the place that you want it. Like that I don't believe in that. But I mean, like I totally agree with your statement. Like, okay, cool. Until it goes where you want it to be or where it's convenient to you, is not don't support the tournament or what have you. So, like,
Right.
yeah, I'm totally in agreement. And I've gone, as many years as I can wherever it was. Like I said, it's been in Raleigh. I've been in Raleigh. It's been in Winston. It's been, it's been in so many different places. So that was the
Hmm.
point that I feel like people were missing. That I was like, it has to be in Charlotte. I'm not even a big like a supporter of it has to be in Charlotte or what have
Right.
you. So, but like, yeah,
I like traveling.
I'm ex yeah,
Leave
I'm
the
excited to go to
state. Go
Baltimore.
somewhere.
Well, I think another thing, and I was just thinking, it's just like, when I do love, going to a DC and go to a Baltimore, but I think like when you're going to travel, it's like so specific to like now I get to see the city. And I feel like when you're going to the CIAA tournament, it's like, okay, I'm here for this specific reason. So I
Mm-hmm.
like the fact of hearing like these places come to you because we're here for this. Now, when I'm going to the city, I'm not eating anywhere that I can, that's my favorite thing to say. My brother
Period.
will tell you, I'm not eating where I can eat at home. Like I need to
Yep.
find someplace else. I don't want to go where I can go at home. So, it's just two different like mindsets. Like let's, support the tournament. Like I said, I love to hear that people are coming to Fan Fest and bringing their business and
Mm-hmm.
showing us, so I mean, even though I think like some of the comments, like when you automatically sometimes say, like, I think this, that means that you don't think that. Like it's like,
Right.
and you can go to
Yeah.
Baltimore and it can move to another place. Like it doesn't have to just
Right.
be,
We
it
can
doesn't have
share
to be
this thing.
bold. Yeah, it doesn't
Right.
have to be one or the other. So
And I want it to be good in other places, and that encourages other cities to bid for it. Like if you only see a fight between two cities, it's like I'm gonna stay out of it. But it's like, oh,
yeah.
it's successful here, and it didn't stay there forever. Maybe you know what I'm saying. I think we're in Baltimore through 2027 or something like that. But maybe you know what I'm saying longevity. We're 100 years or so into some of these HBCUs, if not almost two. We're looking at the opportunity to just continue to build and build and build as we go around,
Mm-hmm.
because that building doesn't leave, like the act of building, not a literal building, doesn't leave once we leave. Those businesses are still put up, they're still showcased, they're still doing things. So I'm excited. Still, we're gonna talk about it
Yeah, I'm
every
always
day.
excited. Yeah.
So we
I'm
not
always excited to be around my people. It's an
being around
opportunity
our
to be
people. What
around
are we
Black
gonna wear?
people.
I'm
I'm
back to
going.
what are we wearing for? I know, like we really big on Mr. CIAA. I want as we wrap up, really a call to action. Definitely do your support, but I want y'all to throw on your best of your best of your best for the championship game. That Saturday, we need y'all to be the first on the first. Okay, we need you to be number one. We need you to be the best dressed of your school because we're gonna call you out. We're looking for you. We want to see how you represent your school. We want to see the pride that you take. It's bigger. This is bigger than a t-shirt. We have legends that come, and we know because of the things that we wear. Fashion is important to us. The way we express ourselves on our body is important to us, and we support that. So go all out. That thing you think that somebody gonna say something about, or oh, that's not this. We want you to put that on. I want you to put that shit
And
on.
plus,
Can
I'm
we
gonna
say
be
shit on
there
you?
doing a fit check. So
Please, okay, okay. And I'm gonna
yeah,
be finding
so
them
that's
for. Okay.
another reason on why you need to do what you do, how you do it, because you can be on the fit check, and fit
Yes.
check numbers go crazy. So not to toot my own
Period.
horn, but beep me,
Beep.
toot toot.
It's beat out with saying.
You know what? And I know we are absolutely wrapping up, but we definitely have to do our queen spotlight.
So we could not forget our queen of the week. That's our
Meow,
queen
meow,
of the
meow,
week.
meow. That's a like, yeah, we need to like. Oh, she's a
Let's go.
You know what? Like I definitely am probably up at the top for like tone deaf and people who cannot carry a tune in a bucket, but I'm also up there with the people that love to sing.
Okay, I'm the same. The Venn diagram is a circle for me. Period. A chaos choir, if you will.
But well, I love a sing now. I love a sing. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, y'all
Oh
just
my
gonna talk about it because I'm gonna
goodness.
sing. Love music. Um, our queen.
Our queen. Our queen. Our queen is awesome. Like even her name says queen. Like Diamond.
That's literally one of my favorite names. Like
Yeah,
that is just such, I'm like,
love that
when
name.
you're doing something, um, and then like you have a name like a diamond, like you can just do so much. Like,
Right.
oh, diamond in the rough. Like you got so many different ways that you can
Right.
play with
That was
this
a girl's
name.
best friend.
Diamond's our girl's best friend playing basketball on the court. Like, come on now.
Period.
Like the jokes write themselves, but the
Legacy speaks for itself.
The
The name
legacy speaks
precedes
for
you.
itself.
That's
The
it. The
legacy
name
precedes it.
precedes you.
So who are we talking about? Diamond Johnson of Norfolk State University. The girl be going ham. Let me talk about some of like
Go Spartans.
her past achievements, and then maybe you can come in with like the recent ones because they didn't even stop back
Okay.
in the 23-24 season, girl. I'm talking about MEAC tournament most outstanding player. I'm talking about HBC All-American first team, MEAC newcomer of the year. This was his last year, so it's like, oh, okay, I'm good. I can rest on my laurels. Absolutely not.
Right. I
Absolutely
got
not.
talent. Hmm.
I got talent. I can do this thing. And
So some of her current accolades, like she's tied for like seventh in like all of the nation. Like she's one of the best, like literally one of the best. She's included in the list with like just 17 other students from the ACC, the Big East, the Big Ten, like some of these hard-headed Division I conferences. She's one of the two mid-major student athletes to be included. So she's up against the big dogs. So much so that she's on Don Staley's award wife list, presented by the Phoenix Club of Philadelphia, where Don Staley is from. So shout out to you, Diamond, for being our Queen of the Week. Go Spartans! You keep elevated. I need to get me a Diamond Johnson jersey. So
oh
that's
no,
my
that'd be
jersey.
dope.
That's what I'm
That'd
gonna
be
get.
dope.
I'm getting, and my maiden name is Johnson, so we might be cousins, girl.
Oh,
We might be cousins.
I love a good cousin. You know, right now my girl is averaging 19.1 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 4.3 assists. Like, come on now. And 3.2 steals per game. So when you're saying she's tied for seventh in the nation, it's for freaking steals. Like, come on now. Come
Yeah.
on now, like all over the court. And like what and why I say that why? Because it's a lot of emphasis on offense and like, who's scoring and who's doing that. And that is so, but like I think sometimes like the defense of the game gets like overshadowed. So you got kids coming up who want to shoot 3-pointers from half court, but then they don't want to box out under the rim, like stuff like
Right.
that. So, definitely shout out to her for literally playing both sides of the court.
100%. And I think that's what makes her stand out. In general, for me, women's sports, women basketball is so much more defensive than I think men's sports is. So considering that, you know what I mean? Like something that would not to say we wouldn't, because steals are amazing, obviously. But when you consider like that balance of being incredible offensively and incredibly defensively is incredible. You definitely are a diamond in the rough, Miss Diamond. We shout out to you.
Oh. Pew, 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 pew.
All right, so we wrapping it up again because we gotta get up out of here, girl.
Yeah, let's do it.
All
Let's do it.
right,
Let's do it.
so
Oh,
first,
I know the kids do this for heart. I think this looks diamondy. This is like a diamond. Shout out to
that
you.
does look like a diamond. I was gonna do another diamond, but I might have to hear about if I did that. I might have to hear about that. But so yeah, how can we do a diamond that's not? There we go. I like it. We need to come up with a hand
See, we be
for
playing
Queens
too
in the
much.
Yard or something. I don't know. We can't do that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. All right, we want y'all to wear y'all crowns at CIAA. We are going to see y'all. I'm pulling up. I'll be there Thursday. So when are you getting there?
Thursday.
Yeah, we in it
literally ready to just like get to a point where like my job is HBCUs and going out and doing and documenting fashion. Like, why am I working in healthcare right now?
Right. Never mind this degree. God, what?
What? Like, why am I here when I should be there?
That's why we need you guys' support. Y'all got to follow us. Y'all got to like us. Y'all got to subscribe. Y'all make sure to find Skell. Where can we find you in other places that are not here on our amazing podcast?
At Sit with Skell, SITWITHSKELL on all platforms except for Twitter. Never getting back on there again.
I got you covered on Twitter.
But cool.
I got us covered on Twitter.
Big.
Okay, where can we find Big Skell, not the little?
And you can find me at all HBCU events, but definitely find me on Instagram, fan base. I know I'm going fan base you to death every episode because I think it's so important to support our own. I'm on
Absolutely.
Spiel, which is Black Twitter on another app. That's what, yeah, Spill. So
Really?
that's, yeah.
Okay,
You
I
haven't
gotta
heard of
find that.
Spill?
No, I gotta find
Yeah,
that.
it's
I've been kind
same
of
format.
blocking a lot of it. I'm on Blue Sky, and of
Hmm.
course, X or Twitter. And I think I got another one, but I never log into it. And I barely ever log into Blue Sky. So I will look at Spiel.
Spill,
There's
yeah.
another one that HBC, I think it's called Flip or something like that. Like the students, you have to log in with your college email
Oh,
address.
that's nice.
So we need us to, well, actually, I think I still have my active one from A&T, so I might have to sneak in there. But
That's nice.
it's almost like TikTok for HBCU students. So we're gonna definitely plug that in. I am tending to TENDI and the number 2 everywhere. And then it's Sheena.com. You can find me running my mouth about something when I'm not running my mouth about something here. And pull up on us at CIAA. Don't be weird. I am the person you can walk up on that's like, oh, it's not a right time. Pull up on me. It is always the right time to run your mouth with me. I have an open door policy. So
Oh,
don't
that's good.
text me. I saw you at the CIAA because I'm going to block you. Okay. Pull up on me. Come talk to me. Except for Stephen A. Smith. Say it. Don't talk to me about Stephen A. Don't you say his name to me. Okay? We're going to see y'all next week. Okay? We're going to see y'all next week. We love y'all. Y'all go run the yard. Bye.